Welcome to today's video where you will find me in my natural habitat at Nikko Circuit for another Fluke Drift event. Now this is actually a follow-up event for those who didn't qualify at that last competition that I did. Now because I qualified, I technically don't even need to be here, and a lot of all the other drivers that qualified are not here at all. But that is not going to stop me from getting some really cheap seat time and practice. So many cool cars here today, which we'll get to do a pit walk later and check them all out. But in about 6 minutes, I'm going on the track to do some practice. So we're gonna go out, do some driving, and then we'll talk more about what's happening today, what we're doing, and yeah. Have I said how much I love Nikko Circuit yet? So those runs that I had were epic and lots of fun, but the last 2 runs I was like, why do I keep spitting out here? It feels like I lost all grip and the car was super loose. Well, it turns out old mate in the MR2 blew his block and dumped oil on the track, and I didn't know, and neither did the track staff know for at least the next 2 laps, which is why we kept spitting out and I had no grip through here because there was engine oil and coolant all through here. So yeah, I don't know how none of us saw it, but they're cleaning it all up now, trying to get rid of it all. Hopefully everything will be okay, and we'll be out there again soon. But we have 3 more sessions of practice for us today, and hopefully everything else goes smooth. So we've seen this Evo before on the channel, but I've never been able to get an up-close personal look at it. Can someone please tell me what headlights are these? Because I want them very, very bad. And the other thing that's super cool, he's rear-wheel drive converted it, and he drifts it. But that's not only the coolest thing. You may notice that the front bar looks like a TME front bar, and that is because this is a TME. And not just a normal TME, this is a TME RS. Yes guys, this is an Evo 6.5, identical to mine, but it actually looks really, really nice. You said the red stripe there, and then it's an SNDF. So this is in fact sorry, I'm losing my words, but this is a TME RS. Super cool. I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures of this. This is gonna be inspiration for me, but of course I'm building a time attack car. So Obviously, we're keeping the all-wheel drive drivetrain. I can't speak right now. I'm so excited to see this. I had no idea. He's done the battery conversion too. Look how nice it looks there without a battery. So much space for activities. I love the Asahi beer can mod there. That's pretty sick. And he's got AC on his drift car. That's so cool. I really want to know what headlights these are. I want them so bad. Man, this is so cool. I love it. Every time I get in this car, I'm reminded that I still haven't got a harness for it. I'm kind of waiting for the new seats I've got coming for this thing. Some Zito Yacht 4's coming. Let's get some. Burn through the rubber a little bit on the rear so that it's a little bit easier for me to do these mungy entries with third. It's a bit hard. I feel like I definitely need a bit more power. I'm not gonna lie, I've been noticing a little bit of power loss on this car a bit. I think the turbo's on its way out. That or I've just outgrown the power and I want more. For drifting. Let's ignore all the problems they normally have and just focus on the power band and how good they are. God, they're so good. Ratio diff here. I think that would be perfect for clicking third gear, but then I'll ruin second gear. It's so hard. Maybe a 4.3. We'll get a 4.3. much just getting my JZX 100 has changed my driving style and technique and mindset. A lot of people are questioning why I got a JZX 100 for a practice car when it's not an S chassis and this is my comp car. But what you got to realize is it's not just about the car, it's also about the mindset that I needed to practice and change. Not gonna lie, the more and more I beat on this car, the more and more I'm scared of like breaking the baby SR. But the more I give her, the more it seems like she can take a good beating. Whew! That was fun. That's probably the first time I've done back-to-back consecutive third gear clutch kick entries there for like a little mungy enter. What do they call it? Scandinavian flick entry. That was fun. Oh, I definitely want to get that some more though. Get some more practice on that. So right now the competition's on. Damn, bomber, straight out. My Kaiwa-san is in Oka-chan's lesson car, the lesson S15. His car's kind of out of commission, so he's using this, and hopefully he qualifies today and can get into the big comp in January. But he never really drives this car. This is just a backup. So hopefully he pulls this off. Oh, he's got it. That was a really good line. Yeah, he should qualify with that. This guy's out here in a completely stock NB, absolutely sending it. So good to see. Now there's a lot of cars here today, so I'm gonna try and skim through as much as I can. But I wanna start at the end here because like we just talked about with that NB that's out here, there's a guy in a completely stock, power-wise, he's got some, you know, over fenders and stuff like that. But this is completely stock other than an aftermarket radiator. Still got the air box, and he's absolutely sending it, doing a decent line, and doing really well. So I'm kind of pumped because it's so good to see someone out here in an NA chassis like this and an S2000. These are not cheap anymore, and still out here sending it, having fun, and doing well. The way that this thing goes around the track, it looks like the weight distribution is super awesome. Kind of reminds me of Miata, but I definitely would love to get the opportunity to drive one of these one day at a track and send it. So hopefully that happens. We got a really nice 180 here, coming over to a Koki S14, running a 1J VVTi. Looks like a pretty simple swap, nothing too over the top. Got stitch welding everywhere to strengthen up the chassis. We got a nice big Garrett there. This is probably pushing around 450 horsepower, just judging from the bolt-ons. Looks really good. Can't really go wrong with a 1J in one of these things. The only thing that you got to mess around with then is it kind of makes the front nose a bit heavy, so you got to take your front sway bar out and a bunch of other stuff. 2J, non-VVTi sitting in this one though. Looks like a lot of fun. Fairly simple looking swap once again. Nice Garrett there. Good to see a Garrett sitting on one of these. Loving the color pink too. You can't go wrong with that. Good S15. Moving along, we got a Cresta here. It blows my mind now, like how well I can tell the difference between a Chaser, a Cresta, and a Mark II. Before, I used to look at the front and I used to be able to tell the difference between a Mark II and a Chaser, but I used to think the Crestas all the time were Mark IIs. But ever since owning a JZX 100, I've been able to pick it up. Nice little Beta 180. Koki S14, that looks so clean it shouldn't even be in the car park at the track. I'm pretty sure no one's actually drifting this today. It's just here to look awesome. It's probably someone's daily. Cefiro. Somehow this one didn't get to New Zealand and get smashed in a ditch or crashed into a power pole. So that's pretty sick. Got a nice 180. Friend of mine, we actually drove with her, if you guys remember, way back if you're OGs at Gunsai. At the Gunsai Toge course when we had a drift event in the car parks there. Really nice 180, S13, R34, GTT 4-door with a bunch of over fenders and wide body. Got a Laurel. We got Colette's S15. I didn't know that she bought and owned a car over here, but all jokes aside, this would probably be the S15 that Colette would build and drive if she was over here in Japan with an S15. Looks pretty cool, right? I love it. Anyways, so that aside, really nice S15. Moving on, we've got S14, S15 Zenki too. Love me a Zenki. We got a 180, another 34, an 86, and a JZX 90 up there. Off goes this guy in the 180. And then here kind of starts a really sick line. We got a 180. We got an old Sora running a JZ swap. Super cool. This car is pretty OP. It makes a lot of cool noises. Pretty sure he's got like some kind of, like with his limiter, it almost sounds like two-step when he hits it. Super cool. NRG. Steering wheel, not bad. Thrash racing seats, all the good stuff. Loving the over fenders. And of course he's running Valinos. Can't go wrong with that. Very cool car. Koki S14. Running a red top. Wait a minute. Is this a 180? Yeah, no, this is... No, it is an S14, but it's got a red top non-VVTi SR in there. Interesting. Must have just happened. Konnichiwa. I guess at some point he blew up the VVTi engine and then swapped in the S13 one. And we got a S15 here. This thing's pretty cool. Looks really simple. Some nice Advan wheels in the rear. Work emotions in the front. Running a really nice S15 SR20. S15 VVTi SR20. I don't know why I said running a nice S15, but you know what I mean. We got a 32 here, running an RB20. You can't go wrong with these things. They're such good cars. Looks like he's got an aftermarket turbo bolted on there, but just everything slapped together. Runs, it drives, why not? Everyone loves the sound of a good RB. JZX 90, JZX 100. This is very interesting. This is actually 32 GTR base. It's got an RB26 in there. Everything, like the whole car is a 32 GTR, but he turned it into a drift car. So it's rear-wheel drive only, RB26 twin turbo, all that kind of stuff. Very, very cool. It's owned by the guy who runs Private Garage over here, which is super cool. Private Garage D. As you can see, he's had this for many years, and I was talking to him before and asked him if he had known that the prices were going to skyrocket so much, would he have chosen to use a 32 GTR chassis? And he said he kind of regrets it now, but also has no regrets at the same time, which I thought was really cool. Anyways, let's cross over. There's another, I think we already looked at that Koki. We got a Sora. We got this Crown out here. Just super cool. I believe last time I looked at it, it had a 2JZ swapped into it. Oh yeah, I was right. 2JZ, big Grady turbo bolted in there. This guy gets down. We got Hiromi-chan's Altezza, which has a 2JZ swapped in there. Very cool car, and she sends it. That's her up the back there getting lunch. And then we're back at this Evo. It's possibly the coolest car here. Unfortunately, he didn't get to compete because he's having misfire issues. He tried changing coil packs, it didn't fix it. So some other problem. But I really want those headlights. Oh my God, so cool. All right, I think that's all we're gonna do for a walk around. There's an Aristo there, that's kind of cool. Rare to see a manual swapped Aristo. JZX 90, JZX 90, S15. This guy's one of the Ashio factory crew members. S15, Koki S14. Not bad, eh? Bunch of cool cars out here today. And this is kind of like where us S-chassis crew are hanging. This is the last session for today. Gonna get some fun seat time in and have a really good time. Boy, I'm pumped. The best thing about the last session right now is practically no one else is still here. So everyone's pretty much gone home, which means we kind of get the track to ourselves. So we can do some Sanpatsu stuff. I've aired up the tires a fair bit too than what I normally run, so we can do a little bit more third gear. There's literally no one behind me. This is awesome. Okay, a few more other people did come out on track. Damn it, I wanted to sunputsu this, but there's a guy in front of me. We'll be right. Nikko, man. Woo! Choking on tire smoke, don't mind me. Doing a nice cool down lap. Just chillaxing. Poor S15, I don't think I've ever beaten on it this hard before. Alright, well that's a wrap. Literally dying from tire smoke. It's like stuck in my throat. Whew! What a fun day. Getting way comfortable in the S15 now. Feels so good. I'm happy. Let's change the tires because the ones that are on here are definitely beat up. And let's pack the car and head home. Well lads, I got everything packed up, got to return my number, and then it's time to head home. Hopefully, I'll get home nice and early so I can get this video cranked out and spend a bit of time playing COD with you guys tonight. But man, it's such a good day. I really feel so much more comfortable than I ever have in the S15. I want to get a more aggressive flick on the faint entries that I was working on today. I definitely feel like I should have been like flicking it way harder, so we'll work on that next time we're out here. Back home now, and honestly, today was just super chill for me. No pressure, no competition or anything like that, just a solid like practice day. It was just, I don't know how to describe it, but you could probably tell that I was just really enjoying today. I got some really valuable seat time, built my confidence up some more in the S15, tried some new entry techniques with the feint thing and the clutch kick in third gear and stuff. One thing is I definitely want to play around with gearing. I want to try and get a 4.3 diff. I'm going to borrow one from Oka-chan for the next Nikko track day and see if that helps me a little bit more. One thing I'm thinking of doing is maybe short shifting to third a little bit earlier because my biggest issue is when I come around the corner to then get the run up to Nikko, I guess the first corner for the big entry, is second gear is just spin city no matter how much I play with tire pressure and stuff like that and modulate the throttle. So I feel like maybe just short shifting into third is probably gonna end up with me getting faster speeds. But anyways, we'll play around with that and see how we go. But yeah, overall, honestly, just a really fun day. Lots of seat time, we shredded. I pushed the S15 to its limits, I feel. I don't think I've pushed that thing that hard. And yeah, I don't know. Just all smiles for me, and when I think about today, it was super valuable for me, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the footage. I tried to film as much as I can. I don't know why, but whenever I look back at the footage after a drift day, I'm like, man, how did I forget a foot camera again? So I promise you, next drift event, I will make sure there's a foot camera set up for at least a couple runs. I'm sorry, I've been slack on that and keep forgetting. But anyways guys, smash that like button, write us a comment and subscribe. Also go to SAMMIT.net and get yourself some new merch, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Ciao mata.